I came to as you were describing that. And then I was almost like I was looking up from the sky, like I was seeing the terrain, like a satellite vision. Then I went back out, and then I came back but and I do this in my sleep. It's like I jerk in my body or something and come back to reality. What would you do if a client was doing that during this session? Just keep going like you did?
You can do deepener if you're in real time. So that's okay.
Again,
I'm going to count once again, and
okay.
Or you can even don't do count, so the deepener is not that obvious. You just go on, but you embed the deepener.
Okay.
As you walk through this forest, feel yourself relaxing deeper and deeper now, becoming more aware of what's happening around you right now. And you give some sort of physical sensation. Feel the breeze, smell the air, enjoy the colors. So you bring them back into
Because that's what maybe a minute I was conscious of what you were saying, and then I was back out. Then I would come back to, and so. Okay, thank you.
Guzalia, I like the bed. Like, I've done all these and I've done the hypnosis, but I've never done going back to the bed. There was something about going back to the bed and the way my bedroom was totally different. It was just straight line, very clean, just 2 nightstands, lamp, the bed, and like this modern chest where I kept the books. But there was something that I enjoyed, which was really weird, about going back to the bed. I never had that experience before.
It's the most comfortable place in your life, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that
okay, it's used as a deepener because I have that count, but also we can view it as fractionation. If you study hypnosis, you know what it is. You guiding a client back and forth from one state, and also I induce the trance. I did the induction and everything. You go on a trip, but the trance is never static. We're going up and down, because it was longer than usual. I just assumed that you were coming out. So I use a deepener to bring you, but when we're changing continuously the state up and down, we're using fractionation, which deepens the trance. So going back to the bed, I think, is helpful.
That was very deep. I can't think of time when I've got as deep as that. I mean, it's just, yeah. Previously, when I've been hypnotized, it's been very simple. This is like, this is amazing. I really was. And even now, my body's all tingling. It was like, what's the sensations that have been left? It's just like,
it must be that Indian food. You just say, who tasted it?
That was such a lovely touch as well. And also, you dropped in there. It's not just food. It's what you're needing, what you need for your body. I mean, there was just so much there. I mean, it's like, wow.
This is covert suggestions. I wasn't that obvious. I didn't say open, direct suggestions like, from now on, you're going to feel this and this and this.
That's right. Yeah.
Client may accept it, but may not. And here, and also adding the physical sensations is always helpful. Always helpful.
Yes, because you gave the nudge about the food, and so you didn't say what the food was, but you just gave the nudge to the subconscious to view this in a different way. So that really was like, whoa! It's like turning a switch. You really kind of like kept putting it up, yeah.
And also, I've been asked all of you what you want to work on. I kept that in mind, but I at the same time kept it all very general, so each person can apply to something that is needed. Even with the food, I said, what do you need right now? I don't know what's all of your situations. I don't know anything about you.
Well, and for me, because I cannot do spicy food. And I had come to when you were saying the Indian food. So my brain started going, ew, and I just tried to go back into the body. And then that's when you had made that statement. So it was like control part of my brain instead of trying to like go, oh no, not that, it was able to go back to not. caught in those little details about, it's spicy, I don't like it. But I could, like, my imagination started to go to that place of like, I'm at an Indian restaurant and the spicy curry and I can't eat that, you know, and then back to the just, okay, whatever my body needs, it doesn't have to be the spicy. You know, like,
and then you also throw in that becoming the authentic you and realizing your potential of who you really are. It's like, wow. I mean, that was unexpected, but that actually is needed. Yeah.
That is a very, I think, useful pattern to use just about anyone.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Because for everyone, it means something different. Real me. Maybe real me is braver. Or maybe real me is more in control of the emotions. Or for somebody, it can be lose 20 pounds, real me. Completely different things.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if you had the advert for the man from Del Monte who's wearing a white suit and hat, but yeah, I became a man dressed in a white suit in India.
What I found interesting, when you said your real self, I went to a place that something about my eyes, these eyes here, weren't my real self. And all throughout life here in this experience on this plane, I've attracted, or I've gone out with men that have had very special eyes for some reason. But in this trance state, the one with those kind of eyes was actually me. And that those were my real eyes versus the eyes that I have here. That's never happened to me before. So when you said something about your authentic self, and it was like me looking at myself and then I said, oh my goodness, those are my eyes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
here's your script. This is your script, Raina. You have to write it out.
I feel like I missed out on a bunch of stuff. Everyone, I'm like, I don't remember any of that. I don't remember any of that.
It will come back, but also it's recorded.
Yeah.
You can do again before going to bed, I suggest.
When you started though, and you were suggesting, I noticed my dog was sleeping next to me. She started twitching and doing things. So I'm thinking she's hypnotizing the dog too. The dog. And then when you in the wake up, she started stretching. See, she's doing it.
That's hilarious.
You did a fragmentation, and I think it was counting the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't remember whether it was back, but the sensation was when you're taking us back or down, it was like a sensation in the numbers that you were taking us back and down. And I was like, wow, that was also,
I used those words. Feel yourself being pulled.
Yeah.
You only focused on the numbers. You didn't pay attention to the words, but I used them. Yeah. You have to vibralize.
Mentioned the putting the hand on the shoulder, and it could be me. That was
I was going to ask.
Yeah, right before I woke up, and I actually used that, to get back out of the head. I like feel that pressure on the body, and then again was back passed out until
who else felt the hand?
Oh, that you bring up another thing there. When I was coming like back into consciousness, I kept feeling like things were tickling, like I had like feather or hair touching my hand, my arm, my head, like just random body parts. Like it was weird. And then you did that, the touching the shoulder but I just imagined again, like you're saying, the making you go deeper, pulling you down. And then I was back out.
Definitely kept getting feathers and definitely felt that shoulder. And I definitely heard all the counting, and then I'd seem to go again. Mm-hmm. And then I'd come back around again and hear you counting again.
I wanted to say hello to Aracelis. This is new lady for very first time. Hello, don't want you to feel ignored.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
I can't remember if it was when we were wrapping it up or the meeting for dinner, but it was weird. Then I felt actually like a part of what was going on, and it was like everybody was super happy and hugging and smiling, like so excited to get together, type feeling. That was the only like interaction I felt, like the together in a group part. But it was neat, like not actually meeting people, but like we've all for years, and your soul's just so excited to finally get together in person. So that was kind of nice. I like that part.
You say you think you felt it, but I actually used all those words.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But as you were saying it, like that's
Mm.
I felt myself, because like I said before, when you were saying stuff, it was almost like looking down on or witnessing. It felt like I was watching, but I was also present in the experience. Like I could see, us all getting together at this little spot,
Yeah.
kind of feeling, and the hugging and the, oh my God, nice to finally meet you, nice to meet you. But everybody's, kind of vibration raising, but also like going on.
So we can all now say we've been on holiday together to India and we met up in a restaurant, can't we?
Yeah. Have we
And like-
met before? Yes, remember that trip to India?
Exactly.
This is where we met first time.
Oh yes, and we went to Patagonia. Although I didn't see you in Patagonia, but we met up in India.
But I had read something before. It was talking about if you can't, afford to go on a vacation, or it's not convenient to go on a vacation, to imagine, like, create a space in your home like you were going on. And so I had thought that one night, like I pretended like I was at a cabin far away, and I handled things up differently. But that could be something else to kind of walk clients through. It's like, oh, I'm overwhelmed, I need a vacation, I just can't get away because the finances or the kids or life.
Interesting enough, I've never been to America, but I used to read a lot of books which were based in America as a child. And so therefore, I could almost imagine that I'd been to America. Seriously, I always used to think, yeah, I know what Los Angeles is like because I've read all these books where the background is Los Angeles, So that was a child's, as a child I'm talking about, as a child's imagination. Because this is what I used to say to people. They say, oh, don't be silly. It's nothing like it. You've got to go. But you don't realize as a child, I was in America.
Yeah.
I grew up in Soviet Union. Even though whole Soviet Union was kind of close, I grew up in military city where we had manufactured all the weaponry. And it was closed city within closed country. Even within our country, not everyone could come and visit us. So traveling was difficult, but on our national television run by government, there was no private television before. They called it cultural programs. So will be whole week of introduction to another culture. And it was continuous. So 1 week it was France, next week maybe Brazil, then Japan. It's also, I believe they still do this. So throughout this week, besides our regular shows and news and everything else, it would be a few hours, and it's different genres: detectives, dramas, romances, also talk show, also a bit of news, and also cuisine, different things. They would show all aspects of life. So I remember as little ones, we would see, okay, French cuisine. Who would not want to try it? My mom would cook, and then we would watch this foreign cartoon or a trip to museum or a concert. It kind of was a submersion into the culture. And then when I came to US, now I'm too kind of in the same situation. By the court order, I couldn't take my child anywhere in the state. Yes, we traveled, we did vacations within the state, but I wanted to show him more thanks to YouTube. Then I'd cook something, wherever we will pick a country, we'll turn this video tour on YouTube. We visited all the best museums and galleries. Yeah, we have that submersion, but imagine with hypnosis tool, you can make it even more real.
I can see how, again, you could help somebody get over their fear of going to another country, how you could stepping outside their comfort zone. I haven't done a lot of the hypnotherapy work, so just as I'm listening to all of you, I can feel myself opening up and being inspired and seeing how you could really lay this out for a client in this session, or help with these different areas. About you as a teacher, Guzalia, you share and explain and just kind of widen the perspective on things instead of that very clinical.
Thank you. You know how we all feel overstimulated, so much going on. and we think this is the only problem. We're bombarded with all the information and everything. But at the same time, so many of us just get stuck in our daily routine and in very restricted places. We go to the same stores, we eat the same food, we watch the same movies, we read the same writers. There is maybe not enough of sensory experiences, of excitement. If it's not possible to travel or experience something, at least this way we can.
You know, from my experience, I know some others, I think when you get stuck kind of in that space of routine, like a lot of people, you know, dealing with the anxiety and the overwhelming. So like using that to kind of pull them out, like it's not so scary out there. It can be beautiful. It can be magical. Like already implementing those sensations of it's not a panic attack. It's not, you know, the world collapsing on you. It's actually like you expanding and opening up. So
exactly. It's a very good point.
Either.
Yeah, even when we work on addictions, just trying to suppress or remove the addiction, nearly impossible if you don't replace it with anything else. Okay, stop feeling depressed or stop feeling this anxiety. It doesn't work. If it did, everybody would do this. If we create a nice, pleasant experience to replace that, then it's doable. Yeah, instead of lying at night fighting your racing thoughts, counting all your problems. Okay, I have a recording for you. Plug in your earbuds and enjoy that. If your mind is overstimulated and doesn't know how to calm down, work on something, work on more pleasant things. That's how I work with clients who have insomnia. That's a homework. You're going to visualize, I even give them stuff. First day you're going to visualize this, then you're going to imagine you're going this, then I'll throw the few recordings. I will give them really specific, you have to imagine going there, say this, do this, and then when they come back a week later for the follow-up appointment, I tried so hard. I tried to follow all the steps and I thought I did good, but I would fall asleep every time. That's the whole point. You're fighting insomnia. Yeah.
You know, with because I just took your behavioral changes certification course too. It was from there. I may want to resume, but you're talking about kind of creating this other version of yourself, you know, and putting these tasks or responsibilities on. So you could kind of incorporate all this again, I'm still new to hypnotherapy. So, but you could kind of incorporate these different techniques together.
We're so very different. We need different tools. It's great to have a choice in your toolbox. This way you can adapt on the fly and, you know, create whole new modality for each client.
And that's where I'm realizing, like I said, my original hypnotherapy certification school was this is the script, you know, she gave us like 5 scripts, stick to them. And that was kind of it. There was not this like exploring it and being able to, you know, imagine or visualize how to implement it with actually working with the client. So that's why my brain's still trying to, like, I'm actually feeling more confident now with these conversations and these workshops and things that you do, because that's where I struggle with, like, well, what if this comes up? Then what do you do? And if that comes up? So I'm kind of seeing how, like, it just feels more natural and all these, like, I can see why you're so good at what you're doing, no matter what the subject is or the topic is. You're doing similar things, but you're integrating these different techniques or visualizations and stuff together. So thank you.
All of us experiencing problems. If you focus on your problems and solve all of them, imagine how many ways you'll learn to work through them. And it's easy to do it with others. I want to bring up something. Last week I went to, we have a businessman club, private club here in Maryland. Those are people who are very, very wealthy, very successful. And they invite me to do hypnosis or just do some presentation all the time. This time there were 12 speakers invited. Therapists, coaches, motivational coaches, different specialists. And something happened for one person and they couldn't make it. It was last minute cancellation. So 2 hours window opened up. An organizer asked, can someone fill in to do another presentation? So 11 people made big eyes and said, I cannot do this without preparation. I'm not ready. I filled in, but I was shocked that those are experienced, seeked out specialists couldn't think of anything to speak for 2 hours. It's a problem when you learn just following the script or giving protocol and don't think outside of it, don't explore, don't widen your horizon. Opportunities show up all the time. You need to be ready to take advantage of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked. Those are experienced specialists. Like, I'm not ready. I don't know what I would talk about for 2 hours.
That message you've just said, Guzalia, that has cropped up for me now. This is probably the third time this message you said about taking the opportunity. You know, it's like, be ready for taking the opportunity. Recently, there was this, don't know if you've seen a social media video where there's a lioness crouching and waiting. There's like a little stampede of, you know, impalas or something. And, but it's too afraid to leap in. But a lion comes along, grabs what it needs and wants, and then takes it away whilst the lioness is still crouching there, not doing anything. So yeah, that's just another example of the point you're making. It's that where the opportunity is there, just go for it.
You have to be ready. I believe you have to be ready for the opportunity to show up. Maybe it will show up
Yes.
sooner if you're ready.
Yes.
When I was in school, we had this what's it called, home science weekly classes. The girls were taught to sew and among other things. Well, we did very simple projects, and then teacher said we're going to do evening dress, special occasion dress, and everybody like. And I was in a speed skating school, so we didn't have time to do special occasions. We were training all the time. We were all left like, where would we go and dress? And that woman with lots of wisdom said, a woman needs to have a beautiful dress, then the occasion will happen. Imagine this would be last worst situation. Somebody asks you out on a date and you don't even have anything to wear. We all made that dress. Yeah. Yeah. But with everything else in life like this, yeah. Like I like to compare opportunities to tea. 1 minute you brewed the tea and it's really hard to drink, but if you let it sit alone, it's just a waste. It's already lost taste and aroma. You have to drink it at the right moment.
At the right time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. I think I've just got to absorb all of that because that was just so concentrated, and you know, I've got to process it. It's like, but you know, again, a thank you from me, Guzalia, because that was just totally blew me away. Literally, even though I was under, I could, you know, I was just thinking, wow. When we were coming to the point of like, you know, the counting for in the bed, for example, I thought, oh, you're going to wake us up, but you didn't. You took us further on. It's like, you know, so it was totally unexpected. Yeah, the journey of the unexpected. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hypnotist is always a hypnotist. Even in trance, you were analyzing the techniques.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. That's right. Absolutely. But the thing is, it's like when you did, like I said, I'll just repeat it because it's sometimes when something's really good, worth repeating. But you know, when you said about, you know, the authentic yourself or the potential, you are the real you. I mean, I just said, yes, wow, perfect. You know, it's what I needed. Yeah, it was just that kind of moment. There was a lot of those moments in there. So yeah, I'm really kind of taken. So I'm interested in what else do you have?
Well, next time you'll go back for practice with your hypnosis study group. You can blow them away with all the new stuff you just picked up.
Well, I mean, I think you're, you know, I would simply say that, yeah, you are like advanced, so far as I'm aware. So, so it's like,
Cute.
yeah.
Cheeks turning red now.
No, seriously, seriously, it just blown me away.
Well,
You're awesome, Guzalia. You're awesome.
thank you, Q.
You are, yeah. I will back that up.
I missed you. I had to get back.
It's been a while since you joined us. How are
Yeah,
you
I had
progressing?
surgeries and health. So when I seen this, I'm like, okay, I'm joining this and I'm back.